talked about the role of funder partners. Can you explain the relationship you had with them and how that evolved over a period of time?
Yeah, I think one of the things I was very conscious of, they were such smart people and I really believed in us. They believed in me personally, but really much more the team and our approach and our sort of values as well. We thought rather than play the game of sort of trying to show how great we were all the time, and why not really be open and honest and have this very transparent relationship where we really asked them for their advice and asked them to co-create that. So just one example, Nitya would drive that in our team and Mark and so on, but every year we would have a funding meeting in one of our parts of the world. We had one in Kampala, one in Delhi, a couple in London, and the idea was we would spend half an hour on all the good things that happened over the last year, but about 5 or 6 hours on the challenges ahead of us. And it was such a great way to get their ideas, their buy-in, and some great practical things came from that, from expertise we could bring on to other examples of other organizations we could reach out to. But more importantly, that sense of they were building it together, and they also knew what it felt being in my shoes and the team shoes, and how difficult, frankly, it was at times as well. So it cemented a very deep relationship and a deep level of trust. And as you can, the story has shown, we were iterating and learning all the time. It really kept them bought into that engagement and learning as well.
Board. The role of board in any organization is really important. Stir a young organization, a startup organization. What role did the board play in the growth of the organization, and how did you work with the board?
Yeah, so I think I really owe Joe, our chair, a real debt of gratitude there. He was great. I think he really tried to evolve the role of the board. At the beginning, it was more honestly like a bit of a supporters circle and some enthusiasm. In the first couple of years, very tough getting any new idea off the ground. But it became more and more professional. I'm really proud of where we left it when I moved on, and I think obviously you'll take it to a new level together, Girish, in that regard. But it became much more professional. It became really able to look forward, for example, make sure we had really world-class governance and systems and processes, which were never my strength. But we had great people, John Knight on the finance committee, Mickey Sandel, for example, on the FinCo. And the board was always a more strategic partner to me. And I think I always saw their role as asking great questions and challenging, but not trying to provide an answer. And I think it was great to be able to go into a meeting saying, look, there's no agenda I'm trying to battle here or play a game with at all, but I know they will ask deep and probing questions, so I need to make sure I've thought and reflected deeply about why I believe this is the way forward for us as an organization. So a bit like the funder parallel, I think that really open relationship and willingness to be vulnerable and admit when things were not so easy were there. And I think there are a few examples where Amrita, one of our members, managed to not get us into Nigeria, which I think was, probably saved me many, I've got plenty of white hairs already, but saved many white hairs more, I think, by some of those decisions. So, yeah, I think they really played that role very, very well.